Grand Rising loves, happy Tuesday. Tuesday is the day ruled by Mars. This is the planet of conflict, the planet of war and the warrior. Man, my glasses are all kinds of dirty. So this red is the color that connects you with Mars. So really be aware today, how are you processing anger? How do you face conflict, or do you conflict avoid? Conflict avoidance is really about the fear to change, because conflict is what actually creates change, right? We're going to speak my truth. You're going to see how I feel, how you feel. We're going to communicate. And conflict avoidance really is the fear of change. So feel into that, especially on Tuesdays, the day ruled by Mars. And also, however your Mars is on your chart, that's also going to bring in the energy of how you process that, how you process conflict, how you express yourself. So for instance, my Mars is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the sign of the visionary. And so through conflict, I create great change. Like I am restructuring things exactly how it's processed and how I see it. So it's very powerful for me. And when and if I conflict avoid, it actually prevents huge shift from happening. So I have to not do that. Anyhow, the Ascended Masters had showed up for me today. And so this is very key. Really be aware of your body. How does your body feel? The things that don't feel like you, be very aware of them, because usually those things indicate someone else tapping into your energetic field, or tapping into you as a source, or sending malicious or dark energy trying to get at you. And so I've been feeling that lately, actually since since last week, since I shared space with someone, and then literally Thursday it started really intensifying. And so in my left shoulder, upper back, which is the receiving side of my heart, I literally have been feeling like there's a stick jammed in there. And so my beautiful massage therapist Elise confirmed that for me, because I was really feeling that and have been cutting cords and doing that. So as soon as I left her space, I did some binding with 3 particular people, and it's interesting how shit's clearing up. So just be aware of that. And so yesterday, she came up yesterday, and she shows up a lot after after a psychic attack. And so I have cleared space and cleared space and cleared space. I've even done some, because it says feng shui. Literally, she showed up for like 2 weeks straight. Literally every day for like 2 weeks straight. And the last time that happened, I removed that card from the deck, and that particular Ascended Master showed up in another deck. So I said, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. Let me reread this, see how I can dig in. And so it said feng shui. So I actually worked trades with a woman that I know who's a feng shui practitioner, and I did some tweaks in the house, and she stopped showing up. But now when she shows up, I know it is specifically to cleanse my energy and to shield myself because of attack. And I know that every time I level up, I draw attention of dark forces, and so I am more likely to be attacked in those cases. And so I'm always on guard for that kind of energy, especially since my accounts are public, and especially since I do these things. So being on a live video actually opens portals. And so I am exposing myself greatly. And I have no fear of those energies at all. It's just more of a nuisance than anything. But yeah, I'm like, bring it, because I would rather transmute that energy and eradicate it than hide from it. So anyway, she showed up again. This is Archangel Jophiel talking about clear my space, but she's talking about energetically. And so he's the same one that shows up always for that same reason, El Moria. But his message is talking about rapid ascension, that it actually makes me a target. So when you become this beacon of light, you are amplified as an attack. And why? Because I have great potential to usher many into ascension. And that's obviously what is not wanted by the dark forces. So he shows up in that case. And then my reward for doing the work, Lakshmi. Lakshmi always brings in prosperity, and it can be prosperity in all forms. And so I've been joking that I want to play the Powerball because there's a house that my beautiful friend has flipped, and it's actually one of my favorite homes, and I went and saw it yesterday, and oh my God, it's so beautiful. So I joked, I said, I'm going to play the Powerball and I'm going to get this house. So with Lakshmi showing up, I'm going to do it because that would be a beautiful space to hold my sessions in. So that. And so, so I have a couple number synchronicities here today, but the 44 is always a synchronicity for me. Hi, beautiful Luke. How are you? So the ocean of eternal love, which is the space that I operate from. And so the 44 is also a synchronicity for me. Repeating fours always remind me that I'm protected. And I work with the 4 main archangels. I work with medicine wheel energy. I work with the elements. And so this is telling me, don't worry about shielding and protecting. I mean, do it, because I'm glad you're great, Luke. And so this showing up is telling me, we got your back. So I'm happy about that, and it's still safe for me to operate from that place of love. And I've been feeling uninspired, so that card is also the fertility card. And fertility talks about the birth of creation, not just humans. So Becca says, my wise mother told me about being light and being a target. That has saved me so many times and opened my eyes and heart to that. Good. And that is smart for us to remind our children of that. The medicine wheel, Luke, is it's a circular garden, and historically they would plant healing herbs in them. So it has the oldest ones are just 4 quadrants, and they represent the directions. So north, south, east, west, but also the 4 elements: wind, earth, water, fire, and also the nations. So there's some in native tribes and indigenous tribes that actually do them but through the colors of the nations, the yellow, black, white, and red. So I actually set mine up as elements and call in the 4 main archangels in my medicine wheel. And I used to have healing herbs in each quadrant, but I took out all the plants because my intention is to put turf in there and to invite people into the medicine wheel to have moon ceremonies and healing ceremonies in my medicine wheel. It's a very powerful space. And some have what they call peace pole in the middle. Mine actually has a fire pit in the center. So, but it's a beautiful healing space. Mine is probably, I would say it's a good 12 feet circumference. It's across, so it's fairly large. I could probably fit 3 to 4 people in each quadrant laying down comfortably with space to spread their arms. So it's really big. So the card, you got the love showed up, and this card actually talks about being more soul, more spirit than human, and how the difficulty of the human experience is that you see everyone's soul. You don't see their humanness, but it can be a pitfall in relationship because you could end up in codependent and abusive relationships. And like, yeah, holy shit, thank you for the reminder and the twist of the knife in wounds, but okay. But it just reminds you that creating boundaries is loving. And so I have often said, I need to get better at being human. I need to get better at being human. And so this card is that reminder. It's okay to be more human in the selection process, because then I'm able to see more clearly where they're actually at in the present moment instead of taking people on potential. Luke, thank you. Thank you. I accept that compliment wholeheartedly. Thank you. And it is cool. It's a beautiful sacred space. So I'll take a picture of it and share it. But right now it's just dirt and a fire pit, because I'm working on it. And it's hot. I don't know if you know how hot it is here, Luke, but it's like 116 yesterday, so it's kind of ugly. Now, I got the supermoon card again, and if you've been following in the past week or so, this has been showing up. So I actually read it to see what the meaning would be. And it actually talks about imminent change, that it's okay for me to fall into this grace. This is a period of grace that I will be receiving a whole lot, and it's going to create a lot of emotion for me. And so, yeah, I can feel that happening. Luke says, oh, that's for you, Becca. Luke is talking to you. Working with the spirits of Saturn and Mars are great for that problem. That's awesome that you say that, because Tuesday is ruled by Mars. So thank you, Luke. High five on that one. So he says to Becca, to JK Gypsy, I've had that same thing happen to me. Working with spirits, Saturn and Mars are great for that problem. And that's true, Luke, because you are a beautiful beacon of light. So keep yourself shielded, always, always. And so the 33 showed up. 33 is the number of harmony, the harmonizing of our parts, mind, body, soul. So I love when that shows up. At the seed of life always talks about the beginning of creation. So for this to show up for me, and I just moved through a period of an ebb. So I felt very uninspired. I felt still, stagnant, and that can feel like that in the pause. When you've done a huge amount of healing and growth, you do need a downtime, a period of integrating. And after I was in the Central Coast in Big Sur, and I had all those amazing, phenomenal even experiences, past life experiences, and integrating soul fragments that I had to call back to myself, I had that, it felt almost like a pause, and I was like, oh God, what have I done? But it's not. It's a pause period to allow yourself to rest. So literally I was sleeping till like 10 every day. Even today I slept a little late. So giving yourself that chance to rest and build up enough energy to move into the new. And that's really important. Don't think that doing is always important. Sometimes we need to just be, to integrate, and to charge, and to prepare for the next step. Yeah, who are you asking, Luke? Because Luke asked, do you have spirits mess with you or negative people? I do consistently. And so, like I had talked in the beginning of the video, and you weren't on yet, like being on social media with a public account and also doing live videos. Oh, Becca. So Becca, he's talking to you. And I don't know, Becca, is your account public? It actually leaves you open as a portal, so it can be dangerous. And Betty, beautiful mama, you're gonna have a cancer. You are gonna have a cancer, woman. I actually think that that's probably better than the Gemini, just saying. He just wanted to cook a little longer, and that's better. He'll be sweeter disposition. He'll help balance your air and water and fire and all of that that's happening between you and his daddy. Yes. So Becca answered Luke, thankfully, I figured out how to work on those issues. That's good. And so message in the bottle also showed up. So message in the bottle talks about an imminent message that will be life altering. And I'm like, all right, bring it. That's exciting, right? When you hear that. But when you get a message like that, stay in your heart. Don't go in your head, because the head will create like, whoa, what could the message possibly be about? And you start creating scenarios, and it actually blocks the gifts coming in. You miss the open doors. So don't do that. When you get messages like that, really surrender into it and be like, all right. So Damburite is my stone that showed up as my ally today. I love working with Damburite. This is a Russian Damburite. It's really beautiful, and it has this huge, there we go, maybe I can get it. I don't know if I can get the light to hit it right. It's got a huge diamond face that's got tons of rainbows in it. But this is there, can you see it there? It's a Russian Damburite, and it's pretty expensive, but like, I rescued it. Remember, crystals are living things. So I'm not hoarding, I am rescuing. I rescued this baby. But this is a Russian Damburite. This one is a Mexican Damburite, which was gifted to me by my beautiful sister, Diana. Isn't that beautiful? But all of them have kind of like those striations in them. They're really beautiful. And this is a Madagascar Damburite. It's golden Damburite. And so each of them have different personalities, but they all bring in messages of spirit. So to work with Damburite, it says that I am now to surrender to the messages of spirit, because there is going to be a life-altering message for me, and so I need to just receive. So it like seconds that. So remember, I said when you get a message like this, try to stay out of your head and in your heart to receive. Well, Damburite will help you in the surrender to receive. So I'm like all good with that. I love the synchronicities when they show up like that in a spread. And so from nothing to everything. And this is the same exact message. So this talks about something new, that I'm going to get a message that's going to be life-altering. Damburite's like surrender to spirit, because they have a message that's going to be life-altering for you. And this talks about from nothing to everything. And so it says, take yourself out of fantasy into fulfillment. The fantasy is in the head, and the programming will always create fantasy because it wants to know. And control is more about feeling safe than really about wanting control. Like, who wants to control it? Because we're never dreaming big enough. Like, just who doesn't want to be in free fall? It's fucking exhilarating, right? But the control is like, I just want to feel safe too. So I want to know, like, this chute is going to open. So that's the whole point of control. But know that when spirit is telling you to surrender, they're not then going to leave you forsaken, jumping to your death. It's not going to happen that way. So from fantasy to fulfillment is my message today. And I am like all about that. High five. So Becca says, thank you, Luke. Much appreciation. And Luke says, I'm not hoarding, I'm rescuing. It's not lies. You're making fun of me. But it is true. They're living things. So some people rescue chihuahuas, right? I rescue crystals. It's a much better space for it to live, don't you think? I mean, this is beautiful altar. And Becca says, ha ha, Sherry, you know I have a whole room. Oh my gosh, I know that. Like, sleeping in that room was like me plugged into the wall, electric. I was like, whoa. But it was awesome. I loved it. I felt like I was sleeping in a cave with all those crystals, like their birthplace. So, yes, you are, Luke. So thank you all for sharing this time and space with me, your most valuable commodity, your energy and your time. I appreciate you so much. I love you. And I am sorry for any misalignment that I myself have caused. Please forgive me. And thank you for this opportunity. I love you. I love you. I love you.